everybody, welcome back to my vlog. This week in class we talked about collaboration and games. So let's get right to it, starting with collaboration. Alright, so collaboration. It's funny, we're in this culture that privileges originality and individual ideas when a lot of us in academia, I think, would agree that there is no such thing as an individual idea. Even if you ignored the fact that everything you think is influenced by what other people say, the world around you, and a ton of different other things that we just have no control over, we talk about everything. We talk about everything in class before we write it down, and even if somehow we manage to avoid class discussion and sharing our own ideas, we still have to share what we write with other people before we turn in our abandoned drafts. So when do we ever publish an idea that's purely our own? I don't know. And after we publish that idea, is it really an individual idea anymore? I don't think so. I think no matter what you do, even if you do it in print, if you publish it in print, but especially if you publish it on the internet, the second that idea that you've been sitting on leaves your mind, it becomes a collaborative project. Because once you put it out there, people are interacting with it, they're thinking about it, they're working on it, whether they realize it or not. And there's no way to really stop that kind of collaboration, especially online. Alright, moving on to video games. A few things I want to say about video games. 1, love them. 2, never thought they were real. 3, never thought of them as narratives. This last class period that I had on Thursday, kind of blew my mind. So we got into this discussion on whether or not games can be considered real, because people have real jobs in games, and a lot of people spend a lot of their lives on these games, having relationships and accomplishing goals and experiencing all different types of experiences on these games, depending on what kind you're playing. So I think that, just quickly, I want to say that it doesn't really matter if we consider them real or not, because they have real consequences. They have real social, cultural, and economic consequences. Like I said, people have real jobs, and so whether they're real or not, they affect everything around them. Where do you draw the line between fiction and reality? You decide. Anyway, the third thing is really what I want to talk about. That video games are narrative, and more than that, they are scholarly. I'm going to give you one example and see if you agree. The Sims is a video game that allows you to be a creative writer. You create characters, give them backstories, and then you are the author of their entire lives. And just when you think that's it, boom, you realize it's a video game. And no matter how infinite the choices you have about your Sims, about their lives seem to be, they are not. They are limited because they have been coded to be that way. You are actually a reader reading a choose your own adventure book. So, if that's not scholarly, I don't know what is. You're a creative writer, you're a reader, twisted reality, I don't know. Let's take a look at what scholarly is according to the OED anyway. There you have it. Scholarly is basically anything we decide to label scholarly. So I suggest we label video games scholarly. Thanks for watching.